Even after all my friends tried to convince me, my heart just wouldn't listen. I plunged into a deep state of turmoil and doubt. I needed to know, at any cost, was she truly in love with someone else? "I can't. They won't let me." That was all she said before she slung her bag over her shoulder and quickly walked away. I couldn't make any sense of her words. Who were they who wouldn't let her go? My biggest mistake in life was dismissing her spiritual abilities as mere folk spells or common superstition. As far as I knew, she came from a lineage, a family that had been involved in occult practices and supernatural devotion for generations. You are about to hear the tragic end of a friendship, manipulated by the power of a dark entity. Let's begin. My name is Monty. I'm about 60 now, a simple coffee vendor by trade. I've seen a lot of ups and downs, but that night back in 1980, it remains the most terrifying experience of my life. To this day, I still wake up sometimes haunted by the memory of that night. In 1980, 6 of my buddies and I worked together on 2 motor-powered barges. We earned a living by transporting cargo from one location to another. One day, an elder from our town asked us to deliver some valuable goods to Baton Rouge, Louisiana. He offered a substantial sum of money. It was hurricane season. The trip was going to be long and dangerous. It would take 1 to 2 days on the river, but we needed the cash. We had been saving up to buy a 3rd boat. We couldn't pass up the opportunity, so we agreed. We started our journey, asking God for protection. 2 days later, we reached our destination. It was just past sunset, and the sky was turning dark. Suddenly, lightning flashed. A storm was definitely brewing. We started unloading the cargo at the store the elder had directed us to. The store owner seemed terribly agitated and kept rushing us. I told him, "These are heavy goods. We need to be careful, or they'll break." The store owner gave a strange reply. "Let them break. It's not safe to be on this dock after dark. The very air turns sour. Just leave as fast as you can." His words made me think maybe the area was known for pirates or robbers after sunset. The moment the evening sirens went off, every store started closing. The owner told us, "I'll take the rest of the goods in the morning. You need to leave now." And he took off. I told my mates, "Come on, this doesn't feel right. Let's move." But they were exhausted and decided to spend the night right there. As the night deepened, the storm hit. A huge gust of wind flipped the smaller boat. Our barge started rocking violently. Then, a massive wave crashed over us and overturned the barge. We were all thrown into the water. After a fierce struggle, 2 others and I somehow managed to reach the shore. 3 of our friends were missing. Under the flash of lightning, what I saw in the distance chilled me to the bone. On the ruined walls of an old, abandoned pier lay the lifeless bodies of my 3 friends. One's face was crushed, another's tongue was lolling out, and their bodies were covered in deep gashes. The 3 of us sat there, guarding the bodies. Suddenly, my vision went blurry. When I woke up, I was faced with a horrifying sight. A figure with a human-like body, but a crocodile-like head, covered in hair, with something that looked like eyes on its chest. It was tearing and eating the limbs and faces of my dead friends. Just then, the morning church bells began to ring. With the sound of the bells, the creature dissolved into a puff of smoke. In the morning, the local police arrived. We were sailing back to our hometown with the bodies. But as night fell again, strange things began to happen. The boat became incredibly heavy. The engine kept sputtering out, and a dense fog rolled in all around us. On the second night, we were sitting down to eat when a deep voice boomed from inside the cabin. "Monty, Frank, Dwayne, come to us. We're in so much pain." We were frozen with terror. Suddenly, our 3 dead friends walked out of the cabin, moving just like living people. As Dwayne started to step forward, the old boatman screamed, "Don't go near them! You won't be able to come back!" The bodies laughed and jumped into the river. Silence enveloped the boat. The old boatman said, "Quickly, pray." We all prayed together, calling on God. The moment we finished, everything returned to normal. The bodies were back in the cabin, motionless. The old boatman sighed. "Thank God, the devil's illusion is broken." When we returned, a local shaman told us the area was cursed. Years ago, 20 people had drowned in a boating accident, and those same entities had killed my friends. I never worked on a boat again after that day. It was the most terrifying event of my life, a scar that remains on my soul.
Listeners, now for another true story. This one was sent in by Michael Rehan from the Ocala National Forest, Florida. Let's dive in. This happened just 2 years ago. I was with 4 friends. I'm Michael, and there was Sean, Ryan, Oliver, and Mitch. Every year we go on a trip somewhere. This time, the destination was Ocala, lakes, forests, and rolling hills, a beautiful spot. The day went great. We started heading back right before sunset. Suddenly, our minivan sputtered and died with a loud clank. The driver tried everything, but it wouldn't start. It was getting dark. The area was completely deserted. Sean and I grabbed a flashlight and walked ahead. We saw an old, dilapidated cabin. A little further up the road, there was a tiny shack with a tin roof. An old man was sitting outside. When we told him our situation, the old man looked at us with strange, cloudy eyes. He said, "Sons, don't go anywhere else tonight. This forest is not right. Just spend the night inside this shack." We agreed. We went inside with a kerosene lamp and sat down. It was midnight. The sound of crickets filled the air. The shack smelled damp and musty. We couldn't sleep. Suddenly, Mitch said, "Why don't we go explore the woods a little?" Driven by a rush of adventure, 4 of us stepped outside. Oliver was asleep. The deeper we went into the woods, the colder the air became. The tree branches looked like skeletal arms. Suddenly, we caught a strange, sickly sweet scent, like old blood mixed with mold and moss. Ryan stopped dead in his tracks. In the moonlight, a massive shape was moving in the distance. When it turned around, our blood froze. It was tall, skinny, and abnormally high. Its eyes were burning red eyes. Its face was contorted, and its feet were bent backward. We started running. Sean suddenly tripped and fell. As I helped him up, I looked. The creature was right in front of us. Now we could see it clearly. It was a female figure. Its face was covered by its hair, but we could see 2 burning red eyes peering through. As it raised its arm to reach for us, just at that moment, the old man appeared out of nowhere and threw a lantern at it. Before the lantern hit the ground, the light flared into a blinding flash. As the light struck the figure, it let out a horrifying shriek and dissolved into smoke. The old man said, "I told you, this forest is not right." We raced back to the shack. We spent the rest of the night shivering in fear. In the morning, the old man was gone. The shack was gone too. All that remained was a ruined, empty foundation. When we asked the driver, he told us, years ago, a gang of outlaws killed a woman in this forest. They say her spirit still roams the woods. No one ever comes here after dark. The incident remains a lifelong nightmare imprinted on our minds. Thank you, Michael, for sharing your experience. And thank you to everyone who listened. If you have a real-life story like this, you can send it to us. Subscribe to the channel and stay tuned. We'll see you in the next episode with a new story. Take care and be well. Good night.